with no ultimatum. Proverbials conveying my verbatim proof of braces.
Oh, man, there is absolutely no way I can get tired of that intro song. What is up, everybody? It is Monday night, and your hosts of the Pride Rules MMA podcast are back to bring you another amazing show. Just a quick shout-out to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Morning Sports 360, and ladies and gentlemen, we are now part of the Fightbook MMA family. Big shout-out to Roberto Villa, where we're going to be doing big things with Fightbook MMA. I am very, very excited. As always, I am joined by my co-host, the Latin sensation, who's taking Pride Rules MMA across the nation, El Profesor, Omar Sangarima. Tonight we have our buddy, the co-host that always jumps in for the Kareem 15. Tonight we got him on the panel for the whole night, and I am the Reverend Tommy D. Boys, we had a great Bellator event this weekend. I don't know if I was watching EBI or if I was watching MMA. It was insane. What did you guys think of it?
I think Frank Mir needs to either paste his face on Speedbag or just...
Hey.
Listen.
There is structure here, and we are not putting the cart before the horse. I know this is your first time on the panel for the full show. We don't put the cart before the horse.
That's just the first thing that comes to my mind when you say Bellator right now.
I think nothing comes to mind when you say Bellator to Frank Mir. Poor bastard. But anyway, jiu-jitsu all day. Rafael Lovato, Jesus Christ, that was some wizardry. And then didn't we have a standing arm triangle, a conventional arm triangle?
Yeah.
What did we have? Jesus Lord. Everybody's getting submitted.
Before we get too in-depth with talking about Bellator, just to remind everybody, tonight our guest is one of the main event fighters for ShamrockFC 305, Stephen the Professor Mann. We'll be calling him around 9:30 just to let everybody know what kind of show that we have in store for you tonight. So, all right, guys, we all know I hate Dylan Dennis. I'm pretty, confident that you guys hate Dylan Dennis.
Started it. Oh, I forgot. I blocked it out.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
I mean, I got to give him credit. He won with a toehold against a guy with no jiu-jitsu. But to call out Ben Askren, I think he's sipping that Connor Kool-Aid too much. What about you guys?
He's definitely he's smoking that dope. I don't know what
smoking
he's
thinking.
Not even
the yak.
Askren,
not even the yak.
He's just not even the yak. We're skipping over the yak and going straight to the dope. He jumped all the way out the window with that call out.
Yeah. Askren would eat his ass like Kobayashi. First off.
Oh, it'd be bad.
Yeah. It would be bad. It'd be terrible. Not to mention a 1-0 fighter. What the hell does Ben Askren have to say to a 1-0 fighter? For fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sort of
Ben.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to get that fight with Royer McDonald, which makes more sense on a financial standpoint because, let's face it here, nothing against Kyle Walker, but he doesn't have the ground skills for a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Ben Askren will throw Dylan Dennis around that cage. It's a better fight with Askren and Rory because we might actually see Ben Askren get touched for the first time in a while. What do you think?
No. I don't see it happening. I'm sorry. No, not at all. Nothing's impossible in the fight game, but I don't think anyone that'll make it really competitive for him is gonna take a fight. I believe he said he won either GSP was the other one. He was saying on Rogan's that's a fight he'd jump up for. But
it's a lose-lose.
Spaceships or something.
Yeah, but he said he would.
It's a lose-lose for Askren though.
Which one? GSP?
But it's a lose-lose because No, I think I appreciate that Rory's has the stones to even try to look like he's making it work, and maybe he really is. I'm not trying to, have that dude standing outside my window, looking at me all intensely the way he does. But what I really think is, you and I know who Ben Askren is. All three of us know who Ben Askren is. Joe is a great platform, but still, a lot of folks aren't beating the doors down to see Ben Askren fight. You know what I mean? And because if they were, he'd have more leverage. Even no matter what he would say to Dana, he'd have more leverage with Dana. Doesn't matter. There's been people that have said fouler things to Dana White that have been signed by Dana White because he saw checks, right? A current guy's throwing a dolly into a truck, and there's still potential dollar signs around him, so he'll take his phone calls. But Ben Askren is not really moving the needle. Yeah, Tito Ortiz, I think, actually physically punched him in the face. We didn't get to see it. I think that's happened, though. They hyped that up, and then, it didn't really happen, but then it did. I think somebody got slapped. But, end of the day, if Ben Askren had the leverage, he would have gotten these fights. So, both of the folks or three of the people that were considering him fighting, who's going to make money off that?
I don't
Ben,
know.
Maybe?
Yeah. Well, there's enough Twitter buzz around it. That's the thing. But for Dylan Dennis, get the hell out of here.
Shoot your shot, I guess, right? Try to date the prom queen, in 8th grade. God bless you. Who I
think they should give Dennis is the guy that we're going to talk about right now, Neiman Gracie. That's who I think that they should give to Dylan Dennis.
God,
Gracie,
no. Why do you want to do that to Dennis? You hate Dennis.
Because it's two black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's two guys that, Neiman's not new to MMA, but he doesn't have the build-up of fights that a lot of these other guys that he's going to be fighting have, so why not have Dennis fight him? Neiman needs a lot of work on his striking, and, so does Dennis.
We don't want to see a jiu-jitsu match.
Bullshit.
Not when. Now, look, I was about to say. Let me just paraphrase
How
that.
dare
We don't
you
want to see
say
a jiu-jitsu match. We don't want to see a jiu-jitsu match set up like there was going to be any other style used. It's not an MMA fight. Two guys, one guy's working on his striking, and the other guy's Dylan Dennis. It's not really going to be that. That's going nowhere.
Yeah, but don't you think you'd see more striking with that because the both of them could be – look, I'm not going to take Dennis's ground skills away from him. They're both deadly on the ground, so don't you think it would be more of a stand-up fight than anything to see whose hands are better?
I don't think Dennis has any stand-up in him. I think he'll get tapped on the chin once or twice, and he'll catch a bad case of the Brock Lesnar's and start tucking his head into his shoulders, afraid of the next one coming down the pipe, and then he'll look to just fucking drag it to the ground. However, retarded he has to go from A to B to get there.
You mean what Conor tried to do to Nate? Is that what you're saying?
No, because Conor stood. And then he did what anybody would do. You take some lumps, you get dazed out, you're hurt, you try and take it down. When Brock would get hit, Brock wasn't dazed, Brock wasn't hurt. He was just afraid / didn't like getting hit in the face, and he would just look to stumble forward and take you to the ground. I could understand better if Danish tried to stand and he got hurt on the feet and was like, all right, I got to get this down. I think he's just going to get hit and go, and then just look to shoot his shot from a million miles away and just keep doing that.
He's going to hit and do what?
He's going to be looking to shoot from way out.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know another sound effect that would mimic, a bitch afraid to get hit in the face.
He sounded like Butthead for a second there.
No, I just.
Oh yeah, okay. Look, dude, that is the perfect example.
That's a good. Yeah, that's spot on.
What do you think, Omar?
I just hope that somebody ever shoots at me and makes that noise because I feel like I'm gonna sink in a guillotine mad quick if that happens. Like, it's just like he's kind of saying bonsai in his mind, so he's already preparing for the kamikaze like suicide strike that's gonna happen. So I don't have confidence in my guillotines too. I really don't, but I hear that noise. I'm like, yeah, let's try it out. I haven't caught somebody in this since 1964. But What the one thing that really I think is truly disproportionate for me is how bad Dennis is on the mic versus how good he thinks he is on the mic. Like, take away his ability or not to be on the ground, which I think he has. Maybe his takedowns, like Kareem says, I think his takedowns need some work, and it's probably more than likely a function of the fact that he does say that mentally in his mind whenever he thinks about standing with anybody. So he's not setting up his shots. He doesn't change levels. He's just bum rushing people. It really looked like, one of them old school like beach videos that we would see with the Gracies, just kind of like sticking something out there to close the distance, get it done. Which worked in '93 to, about 97, 98, and then things changed. But so I think Dennis. Has to improve immensely. But one of the things he has to do, he's trying to go the counter route, but he doesn't have any of the shit talking ability. It was fucking hard to listen to the dude talk on the mic, right? I'm not a savant on the microphone by any means, but we're all having a great conversation here, aren't we? He was terrible in the post-fight discussion. And if you catch that, it was awful.
I don't know what was worse, the in-ring post-fight discussion or the interview with the girl where he was trying to get that Rico Suave vocal fry and it just wasn't working.
He was trying to get them. He was trying to get them numbers, man, to try to be like, "Yo, shorty, can I slide through later?" You know what I mean? Check out my tattoo. Like, it was awful. It was awful. Holy crap! And she wasn't having any of it, which was great. Right? She held up the Me Too sign and was like, "Don't even try. I will get you. I'll get you fired."
So Roberto from Fightbook MMA said he's one can short of a 6-pack.
Oh, for sure. He's 100%. He's right there. He's a couple leaves short of an entire fucking plant. Like,
and it's not even like a full 6-pack. It's one of those nips. Those nip 6-packs?
Oh,
real small cans.
My uncles used to love those. Don't talk shit. My uncles loved them. They were great in the pinch.
Yeah, but, I mean, to back what I was saying, I think that fight with Gracie might make a little bit more noise because Askren's not going to happen. Askren probably laughed at it, for one. But I think Neiman Gracie would be a little bit more realistic.
Neiman would kill him, though, I feel.
I think so, too.
I think, I think Neiman's got enough stand-up to dictate what happens, and then no fear. He has less fear of the stand-up and then no fear of the ground. And I think that Dennis has no fear of the ground, obviously, because he's good, too. But you're not going to make up for the giant, gaping, fucking Maginot Line holes that I saw in that dude's stand-up game.
All right, hear me out. I think Danish should fight Michael Jai White.
Oh, Jesus, why would you want to do that to Dennis? I mean, I want to see him lose, too, but I think Michael Jai White would kill him.
That's why. That's why. Because he would not take it serious.
The same weight, either. Like, not even
I think
close.
Snipes needs more money, though. I think Snipes would take that fight.
Oh,
he's got a tax bill.
You know what? Even still, Snipes probably is still on the road to recovery from his little IRS mishap. But Snipes kills Dennis in one.
Blaine, how dare you?
If you want to keep it to the storyline.
Oh, no.
What about
storyline? We're talking about actors. What the fuck? Like, how much more storyline can you get? Ryan Reynolds. If you want to keep it to the storyline, technically Deadpool should have that fight. He's the first one in the
I wouldn't mind watching. No, but what about... All right, so Gary Tonin already had his first win in ONE FC. Why not bring him over to Bellator to fight Dennis? They already have a backstory.
Because he would put his fist through Dennis's face.
Yes, but the backstory's already there between those two. There's already blood in the water, considering that Dennis is 0 for 2 against him in the grappling world. So let's see what they can do in the cage.
I think in the cage that's a step. That's a big step up for Dennis, but a big one backwards for Gary. Like he's trying to move up and forward.
How up and forward are you going to move in 1FC, bro? I mean, come on.
I think up and forward.
Now.
I'm transported back to like video game times though. I don't know why. He said move up and forward, and I was like, hold on a second. I don't know why. I just pictured like jumping to the right. Kareem's like, yo, he's got to crouch and go down. Like, what are you talking about? No, I think it would make good sense for both of them. I still think though that Gary's probably getting paid more in 1FC right now. So to that point, probably. I think Kareem's on the ball with that. I think he meant up and forward, like probably like competition wise, but also I think ducats. Because Gary could have gone. Yeah. I think Gary could have gone to Bellator if he wanted. Like he has enough buzz. He could have worked some magic. I think he just makes more money out in 1FC right now.
I think he could have went to practically any promotion, like if he was trying to get in. He's got the right people backing him. He's coming out of the right camp.
Yeah.
Like
He took time. He took enough time, Kareem. Yeah. Like, right? He took a while to really work on his stand-up. When he kept on pushing it back, and there was, whatever the reasons were that were swirling around it, I was happy. Because I was like, you know what? Knowing Gary, he's not pitching out. He's not doing it because I have a hangnail on my toe. He's probably just he wants to keep sharpening the sword, and he wants to get paid what he's worth. So on both counts, I was happy, and he showed like he's far better at 1-0 development wise than Dennis is. Far better, sure. I think. He's right, and not being a homer, yeah. Right? Better on the mic too. Jesus Lord.
Well,
he makes sentences.
Speaking of somebody who's not only great on the mic, but is excellent in the cage, Rafael Lovato Jr. What a performance against Gerald Harris, who came out of retirement for that fight. That armbar was brutal.
Yeah.
And the way he set him up. He set him up for that roll when he rolls through, and then he waits and then gets the foot crossed over.
Disgusting. It was disgusting. It really was. It was fucking filthy. It's like a 12-6 curveball.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Lovato's on another level right now.
Can we take a quick second, though, that I'm convinced that Lovato is part Dominican? No?
What makes that distinction?
Because he looks 800 years older than his fucking official paperwork says. I love him to death, but what the fuck is going on? Like, it looks like he got, like, I don't know, he held the time stone or something, and he
is the H he is.
Right.
He's the H he is, like, just like Romero is the H he says he is.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like a county clerk got paid a grip of cash to look the other way for like 5 years until we had to count him on the next census. I don't know what they're doing in Oklahoma, but they're not keeping good civic records.
I mean, is there anybody who can compete with him right now in that division?
Father Time apparently has already gone 1-0.
That's about it.
Against
That's about it.
Or it's a draw. Because his body's, I mean, not to be weird, but he has the body of a young athlete, right? But his face just, it's like that picture in the attic. His face is Dorian Gray for the rest of his life.
Oh, my God. What's the Dorian Gray?
But you can't tell me, like, if you put a robe on him and you just shot him from the neck up, he would look like a most extreme challenge commentator, right? Like, just talking all crazy or looking like somebody that Goku trains with up in, when he's dead, He's just like some old guy. that's chilling, like telling him to fucking throw a back elbow. But then from the neck down, he looks like a jiu-jitsu wizard that can beat a guy named Doomsday, you know, and did so successfully. Inquiring minds want to know. My girl was concerned. I was like, oh, okay. What's going on there?
I kind of felt bad for Harris. I mean, come out of retirement, and I don't even think it went 2 minutes. So
at least he didn't get knocked out. Right, though? No, he didn't really go through a training. It was short notice.
Yeah,
relatively
it was short
notice, though, wasn't it?
It was short notice. So I guess realistically, he had nothing to lose. He just got a nice paycheck.
You know, I'm happy for him. And he does stand-up, so go catch him at Yuck Yucks in Des Moines, Iowa, May 14th, 15th, and 16th. No, that's totally made up. He does do stand-up, but I don't know if he's at Yuck Yucks. Don't quote me.
Well, he might have a good story about. He might have a good story about that fight. So let's.
He didn't get knocked out or TKO'd, right? Like so that was really, I think, the win-win. And Lovato doesn't look like a needless cranker, so I feel like probably his elbow's not, you know, Swiss cheese.
Yeah, no, it was just.
You know what I mean?
It was just the positioning. I mean, he had nowhere to go.
Just took a little vial of blood so that he can live like two more months after. That's all he took from jail there.
He baited him out, and he made him pay for it.
Yeah. He did. Right.
Yeah, he did. So Omar,
why jump into the guard though? Can we talk about that for a quick hot second? Like, who the hell does that against Rafael Lovato Jr.? None of us.
Confident in their guard game, I guess.
Crazy. Kareem's an animal. But I would bow out. What, you would?
Like, I don't care. Like, it's for me. It's not a matter of disrespect to anyone I'm rolling with. It's how I came up and learning. Like, I spent years at white belt before I got a blue, and all of my years were getting beat on by higher belts and starting and being put in the worst positions. I have no fear of any position. I don't care who you are. If you invite me to get into your guard to see what happens, we're both going to find out together.
Can I ask you a quick question, though? And be honest, because it's just us, all right? It's just the three of us. Against a guy like Rafael Lovato, right? Would you add a bit of the knee on the way down to maybe catch the balls and taint slightly? Just a little glancing blow to maybe break up the leg crossing? Just a hair. Just to be like, I'm here.
Jiu-jitsu is already personal enough. I'm not trying to taint and balls anyone any more than you already get done.
Yeah, no, because that's when the submission gets held on just a little bit longer. Just a tad bit longer.
And that's if he's being nice. He might want to, circle around and, take a more controlling position, and then the next thing you know, you're a little closer than tainting balls for a lot longer than you would have been if you were just decent to start.
It smells like leather and ancient Chinese balms, right? Like, that's what I picture Raphael's package smelling. I don't know why. Anyway.
Listen, stop. I don't know why you were just picturing Lavato's packages smell.
Because I feel like his package, like, his face is like got package skin on it. There, I said it. God damn it! We've all seen Infinity War at this point, right? We know that little ball chin joke that he throws in. Oh, okay. I'm not giving away spoilers. There's a joke about Thanos' chin looking like a ball sack. It's hilarious. You love it when you hear it. All right? Just get Botox, bro. All right? Or have Justin Wren bring you back like something that'll like paralyze some of your face. Okay. So anyway, I'll
moving on.
Take me magic.
Yep. Omar, you brought this up a little bit earlier. Emmanuel Sanchez, I never saw a standing arm triangle held on that long before, and I've never seen somebody posing for the camera while he was choking Sam Cecilia out like that. He was smiling and winking, having a good old time. Did you think Sam was going to be able to go that minute and 50 seconds? in that choke without passing out?
Anything past anyone, man. I always just like wait to see which way things are gonna go. You can get some bad surprises. Like I don't know, man. Guys surprise you. I like to sit and like wait.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to try and ride that entire rest of the round out. I mean, it's obvious he didn't know how much time was left, but the way he was sitting in it, standing up, well, once he dropped him, I was like, oh, is he going to? Nope. It's just too tight. What were your thoughts, Omar?
Well, I think he probably got a little panicked because, as we all know, standing arm triangles, actually, the way they clamp on, they cut off blood circulation to your hair follicles on your head. So I feel like Sam's like, I don't have that much to lose. You know, I gotta make sure I gotta keep what I have. I don't have that many to give. You know, so I think that was probably part of the strategy. It was like, let's threaten him with losing the little hair he has left, standing on camera, and let's pose while it happens. And then, you know, so I feel like, and his let me say this, his post fight was scary. Just, it seemed like the adrenaline, he had like 4 adrenal glands. He had them at the top and bottom of his kidneys. He was born with a weird defect that gave him more adrenaline, and they all flooded his nuts at the same time. He was hyped up. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was an amazing submission, and I guess you can give a co-assist to the cage, considering if this was in a ring, that standing arm triangle might not have been on for as long as it was.
They would have hit.
You know,
I mean,
Sanchez was using the cage.
They would have flopped
perfectly.
out of the ring. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So
he had his arm on it, right? He had like his arm. He had like, basically like one of the escapes blocked off.
His face was against the fence. That's when he was smiling at the camera. You know, I mean, it was. Hey, look. First 4 fights of the night, they all ended in a submission. So right off the bat, that's starting you great. And then you got to the last fight, and you know, just like a Pastor Prime model at a Bill Cosby party, Frank Mir ended up face down, ass up, and done.
Face down, ass up.
Wow. Just
he
Pastor
was
Prime. Like,
yeah.
The man just.
I told you I had a good one, didn't I?
A horrendous sexual miscreant acts.
I was confused for a second. I felt like, you know, when they got in and the punch was thrown, I was waiting for him to get, like, you know, cracked right on the chin. It looked glancing. It's kind of like, you know, a John stepping into a prostitute to cut a deal, and, you know, once the bitch has decided what the price is, she just goes face down.
Oh my
God!
God!
You know, John has his name.
Yeah, it was, and I don't care what anybody says. 10 years ago, the same thing would have happened. Fedor has this weird power in those hands that he just drops people. He just drops people. I mean, the guy was undefeated for 10 years for a reason. I don't care what anybody says. And he fought all those juiced up guys that Mark Hunt complains about today. He fought them all.
Listen, I don't know. All I know is, like, I saw that when I heard he lost. I'm looking like, you know, I turned away. I'm like, this is Frank Mir. He's getting up there. I'm going to go get something to eat. And then I'm like, the fight's over. What? And I look at this replay, and I was like, he's about to get his head knocked off. And I saw the punch that dropped him. I was like, it was like that old EMT commercial with the old people. It's like he got glanced and was like, I'm falling, and I can't get up. And
Jesus
then Fedor
Christ.
just pounced. And, like, it was the worst thing I saw. But then those punches he threw from like, under his arm, like, when he was down. I just had flashes of the Brock Lesnar finish. That was,
Yeah.
That's why he's the last emperor, man. That's why he will be my favorite. He don't let you back up.
I'm going to say right now, the gangster's going to dump him on his head.
You know, I'm going back and forth with this. I think he's going to catch Chael. I do. Chael is suspect when it comes to submissions, and Fedor is a Sambo master.
Chael's suspect when it comes to fighting good fighters. So I agree.
Hey, nice. Hey.
What's that?
We are fans of the American Gangster. Come on.
We. What do you mean we?
Well, I am.
I am a fan, and I'm gonna say it now.
White collar criminal, fucking fraudster.
Shale is gonna wrestle fuck his way into the finals of this tournament, 100%.
I don't see it with Fedor, man. I don't. I see him getting caught in a submission. I do.
You know what I want to see?
I see him getting caught in a submission.
I want to see the makeup artist that was caking that shit onto Chael's face during the broadcast have a talk with Rafael Lovato Jr. and just meet somewhere in the middle. Because I think Chael had way too much on, and Rafael looks like he's, some ancient Egyptian death god that's trying to grapple the shit out of everybody at that point. But I just feel like they could meet somewhere down the road and figure that out. Chael was looking rough too. You can't tell me that when he was sitting there with Jay Glazer, it didn't look like somebody was a little liberal with that foundation. I mean, am I the only one?
I think you are. I think
Stop
you are.
It, guys. Don't make me feel weird. Now you're making it weird. Come on.
You pointed out the amount of foundation a man was wearing. I think
it was egregious. Stop it, sir. It was egregious. All right,
you're reaching Johnny Drama levels right now. You know that, right?
I have both eyes. Okay, I can see quite well. Bad angles. We're not doing anything for the Westland native. So I'm gonna say, looking all of 42 years old, every day of 40.
So Kareem, you just think that while Omar's giving our guest a call, you just think that Chael's just going to put Fedor on his back and he's going to keep him there?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, of all of his shortcomings in this fight, like we've seen him like step in and like the whole first Anderson thing where he like grabbed him and he did exactly like what I said he was going to do, what I thought he was going to do, and no one else seemed to believe he was going to do. He dumped him and put him down, and then toward the closing, I think he just got a little too overeager with his willingness to be down there, and he got caught. He could have played the game and just dumped him on his head, rode it out, and stood up away, and he would have dethroned Anderson Silva off of a lopsided unanimous decision. He played it a little too lopsided. Close. Yeah, he played it a little too close, and Anderson stomped off his backs, and he caught him. If Chael does what he did to Anderson to Fedor, and isn't stupid enough to play around in that guy's guard, it's going to be a long night for the old man.
I don't know, man. I think Fedor will catch him. I do. I mean, I'm a little biased. I've been a Fedor fan since the early 2000s, and I love Chael too. But I think Chael's going to get beat. I do.
No, I don't see, because like who else we got? We got one more semi, right? There's isn't Bader? He's still got to go.
Bader versus King Mo. King Mo is the last semifinal.
Guys,
that's a toss up. To me, that's a toss up.
We could table this for now, because right now we have the professor, Stephen Mann, on the line. You've seen him in Bellator. Now you get to see him on May 11th fighting for ShamrockFC 305 in the main event against Matt Delanoy. Stephen, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
We're good, man. Welcome to the show. How's training going?
It's going good. It's going real good. I'm ready. I'm in shape. I just can't wait. Now it's just time to get the weight off, and May 11th can't come soon enough.
Now, how's the weight cut? Do you have a hard cut or no?
No, it's just normal. I'm right on schedule.
That's what we like to hear. So, what could you tell us about your opponent, Matt Delanoy?
As far as I know, he's a pretty tough guy. He's been around the block. He's fought some notable names.
Yeah, he fought that Aspen. Really, I know that.
Yeah, he fought Ben. I mean, that's the thing. He fought some of these good guys like earlier in their careers, but he didn't beat any of them. He'll come out, he'll fight. He ain't scared. He ain't gonna back down. He'll come forward. But that's really the gist of it. As far as skill sets go, back and forth, I think I have the upper hand in every area. I think I'm better than him in every area, and wherever the fight goes, I'm ready.
Well, yeah, you just answered my second question. What do you think your biggest strengths are going to have you pull this victory out? But you just answered it before I asked, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too keyed on making game plans on where the fight should go or one way I should fight this way or that way. I just go out and fight my fight, and where the fight goes, I prepare myself there, and I train with some of the best guys around in every area. So I don't see Illinois posing too many threats in areas that I haven't, like showing me anything I haven't seen before. That being said, I know he's going to be tough to put away. I'm looking forward to having a tough fight. I'm looking forward to, testing myself against him.
So, if you get this big win, what's next for you? What are you pushing for?
This year, I mean, I don't want to look past Matt, but my plan, like what I want to do, I want to get the Shamrock title and then get back into Bellator. That's the quickest, easiest way back into Bellator. Not easiest, don't get me wrong. This is going to be tough fights. It's going to be tough fights, but that's the line to where I want to be. I want to be back in Bellator. I like fighting for Bellator, and that's kind of my plan. And win this fight, maybe win one more, then fight for the Shamrock title.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So what did you think of your time at Bellator? What was it like being there?
It was good. I like it. I like fighting. I mean, the fights I had were in St. Louis, too, so it was good. All my family got to come out. Everybody's very professional and organized. There really wasn't too many things that, we had questions on. They took good care of us.
Oh, that's always good to hear. Yeah, we've had a couple of you guys from Shamrock that have gotten the opportunity to fight over there in Bellator, and they pretty much said the same thing. So, Omar, what do you got for our guest tonight?
I just want to ask him an unabashed jiu-jitsu question: is how do you get so nasty at that rear naked choke? Like, Jesus Christ.
To be completely honest, I hit really hard, and guys usually turn over and they give me their back, and it's an easy way to finish.
Awesome.
I don't really.
I can't use that in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I don't really
Yo.
I don't know what happened. In my early part of my career, it just seemed like everybody just kept giving me their back. I was like, oh, okay, I want to snatch that.
I'm gonna tell my coach you said that when I start hitting people in the face in that class. Yo, Steven told me it's okay. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. What you do?
I mean, besides that, yeah, I mean, I do come from, I come from Iowa, and when I was first starting in MMA, around 14, everybody there were really good wrestlers, so you kind of get to where you get to this point that you don't want to be on your back. So it started becoming to the point that I got really good at staying on top and passing and getting into dominant positions and working for things like that. My hips are pretty, I feel pretty confident with my hips of being able to ride somebody out, and it usually transitions to them trying to shrimp or get out or, move. And with punches involved, it makes it really easy for people to give up certain submissions like that.
I think that's the greatest answer ever, Omar. What do you think?
It really is.
I hit really hard.
I get rear naked chokes because I hit hard. I hit super hard. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Mike Wacker's gonna be like, oh. He's going to write you a letter like, what'd you tell this guy? He keeps hitting kids in the kids' class. He's teaching the class, and he's telling them to hit people. Like, what's going on here? No. Yo. Great.
So what belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
Honestly, I'm not even ranked in jiu-jitsu. I don't get enough time in gi. I do a lot of no-gi. I always roll with black belts, higher ranked guys. I've submitted black belts in the past. I'm not going to say, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu or anything. MMA jiu-jitsu and no-gi jiu-jitsu is completely different than putting on the gi. And I would love to do the gi a lot more. It's just the way my schedule works out with the schedule of the gym that I'm at, the only time that I'm free is during no-gi classes. And then obviously in our fighter training, we do all no-gi as well. So I hit extra classes outside of fighter training throughout the week. And the only classes I'm able to make outside of my schedule is no-gi classes. So I don't ever get to do the gi. I wish I could.
Well, what about combat jiu-jitsu? Have you thought about that at all?
As far as ranking in combat jiu-jitsu?
Like the EBIs?
No, not really.
You ever think of competing in any kind of tournaments, like ADCC, any of that?
Yeah, I've thought about it, and then every time I start like getting to the point that I want to, get to where I'm doing that, then I end up getting a fight lined up. Or I like to stay pretty active with my fights, so getting that on schedule with my work schedule and I have on top of training, I got 2 jobs, so finding time to be able to balance everything in, it gets hard to do.
Wow, 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Fight camp. That's insane.
It's wild.
Yeah, I like to stay busy.
Do you have any time for anything else?
I like to play video games. I play video games at night when I get off.
There you go.
My coach gives me a hard time all the time about that.
That's funny. It's another fighter that we have on, guys, that loves video games, just like our buddy Sean Teed. I guess it's the best outlet, when you just want to come down.
You're tired, right? Like you're tired, beat
I'm
up.
tired, but I'm very competitive, so it's a good when I start playing, I kind of get competitive with what I'm doing, and it kind of gives my mind a break from the other stuff that's going on in my life. And not only that, I'm from Iowa and I live in St. Louis now, so it's an easy way to stay in touch with all my family and stuff back home because the guys, like my cousins and everything, they all play and we play at the same time. So,
what's your favorite games to play?
We mix it up. We move back and forth through games. Right now, we just got Far Cry. I just beat Far Cry with my cousin Tyler, and a couple of my other cousins really like Fortnite. We play that sometimes, but I'm not too keen on that game.
Yeah, thank you. I work in a GameStop, and if I hear somebody gush over Fortnite, it makes me want to shoot myself.
Yeah, everybody's big on Fortnite. It's good, but
I still don't even know what that is, so don't feel bad. I have no idea what that is.
It's Walmart on a Saturday with guns. So
yeah.
that's what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? It's like Black Friday, like how you wish Black Friday went. Like once you're tired, it's just like
Okay. I can see what you're putting down.
See what I'm saying? I'm telling you.
When you're not working, when you're not playing video games or training, do you like any other sports or anything like that? Do you watch TV at all?
I don't really get to watch too much TV. If I'm watching any sports, it would be football. I'm a Chiefs fan. So, other than that, no.
I think we just lost the call. Thank you, Steve, for...
Oh, he's a Raider. Oh, Christ.
That's 2 Chiefs fans we've had on this show.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
not good.
Hey, man.
Listen, I don't even watch too much more, but I'm a Jets fan. I stick with my team no matter what.
My condolences.
No wonder why you don't know anything about football, Kareem.
And another thing is, being in St. Louis, we go to the Cardinals games a lot. Those are fun. It's more, I don't mind going to the game and watching. I have a good time watching, but I won't watch baseball on TV. It bores the shit. I just get extremely bored watching baseball for some reason. But when we go there, it's a good time.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. I guess because I played my whole life, I don't think it's boring, but that's, a lot of people say that.
Yeah, you might be able to, you might see things that I don't see, you know what I mean? I just never really got into it as much as some people, but going there and the atmosphere and how the fans are and how they all get into it, that's a blast.
And you got a great baseball town out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
for
think
sure.
the first year we moved here, we won the World Series, and they burnt down the Burger King down the street from my house. They were, like, rioting, going crazy from winning the World Series, and the Burger King down the street from us burnt down.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was like,
I thought
oh,
Eagles
man.
fans were the only ones that did stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess not.
No, they were unrelated though. They were completely unrelated. People just got fed up with Burger King. They were like, "Fuck this,
Yeah,
where's
that
the
could be.
Wendy's?"
Like, fuck you, Burger
Can't
King.
stand this. Yeah, come on now. Now they brought back spicy chicken nuggets, which Wendy's still has not brought back into their rotation. So I might be running the Burger King flag for a little while. Spicy chicken nuggets. I'm telling you.
I don't know,
So
man.
what camp do you fight out of? You got more professionals fighting out of your camp?
Yeah, a few of my main training partners is like Adam Sella. He's fought in all the major organizations in the world. Joaquin Buckley just fought in Bellator a couple weeks ago. He signed to Bellator.
Yep.
Ryan Sutton, he's a 4-time All-American wrestler. He fights at 205. Ezra Lennon, one of the best jiu-jitsu black belts around here for sure. We have a lot of strong talent out of our gym at Finney's. We're at Finney's All-in-One Fitness.
Yeah, no, a lot of every name that you just mentioned, I 100% recognize.
Hell
That's
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. That's a
who's full of
murderer's
killers in
row.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, swimming with the sharks.
Yeah.
Does Nelly still run St. Louis though, Steven? That's I wanted to jump in. Once you told me that you live in St. Louis, is Nelly still like the king of town out there, or does he not come back? Nelly still. Come on, what?
To be honest, I've seen him before. I've seen him out before in the loop, but I don't really know, honestly.
I gotcha.
Everybody here loves him.
There's your answer.
Is he still the little Band-Aid guy on the eye? Is that how you recognize him? Because I would lose my shit. That was one of my seminal albums. I'm a little older, I guess. Kareem.
Yeah, I like
damn
Nelly.
You.
Everybody here loves Nelly.
There we go. Damn it.
Yeah.
Let's not be so broad with the everybody here loved Nelly comments.
Yo, I'm gonna Venmo Steven Mann the $5 for backing me up on that one, because he had my back.
When
on
I'm in my
Nelly
classes, when we run our kickboxing classes, I'll play Nelly, and everybody in the class at least loves Nelly.
Boom.
Well,
Checkmate,
a lot of it's good workout music. That's good workout music.
Oh yeah.
Got a good beat to it. Keeps you moving.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The longest yard? Have some
Don't
respect,
mind
guys,
Kareem.
all right?
Don't mind Kareem.
Have some respect.
He's just here to ride the wave. That's all it is. He's just here to ride the wave.
Oh.
He's here to say he
no.
talked to you before you blew up. That's all it is, man.
That's terrible.
That's all it is.
I wouldn't go that far. Maybe he's a St. Lunatics fan, but he doesn't like Nelly. He's one of those odd characters that likes the squad, but not. I don't know.
I'm not gonna hate on Nelly. I'm just not gonna pretend to be a fan because he had a couple of hits. I will give him props for dropping Tip Drill and having BET Uncut shut down. That video, masterpiece.
That was such pornography. I remember that shit.
That's all that was. That wasn't a music video. That was just like somebody told Nelly, "Hey man."
Before Brazzers. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, the founders of Pornhub shot that one.
Yeah, man. Steve's like, yo, I got nothing to do with this, guys. I don't know what y'all are talking about. This is crazy.
Sorry, we went south on you for a minute.
Nah, that's what
Poor guy's
private
in the middle of a weight cut, and you're talking about sex videos on BET.
No, I love how Steven goes. The weight cut's going, and he's like, it's going well, and Steven very smartly and politely though goes, it's going, man. It's still a weight cut, you son of a bitch.
Well, how much weight do you actually have to cut? Do you have to cut a lot?
How much weight do I have left?
Yeah.
I've got 20 left. I got 20 pounds left. Yeah.
It's not bad. You got a tall frame though, and you sound confident about it. So you got the system down, right?
Yeah, I've had 34 fights, and they've always been at 70 or 85. So I've never missed weight yet. So.
Wait, you have 34 fights, and you're how old?
I'm 27.
Jesus
Good sweet
Christ.
Lord.
I had my.
I haven't had
Thank you
34
for
of
fighting.
anything.
Yeah. Thank you for being a fighter and
Yeah.
not a serial killer. Or something crazy. That,
Especially out in
that's
St.
a
Louis.
lot for
I
27.
figure that you could get away with that. You get away with that a lot out there, I think. I don't think the cops are as crazy as they are on the coast. I just have the impression, you know what I'm saying? But
That's
Lord,
a lot
man.
of fights. How often do you fight?
Phenomenal.
Do you usually go like every 6 months if you can?
Fighting now.
It just all depends on injuries and what fights get lined up, but yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, I've had 6 or 7 fights in a year before, and then I've had no fights in it. I mean, I've taken a whole year off before, so it just kind of depends.
So how does that feel for you? You know, like when you said you've taken a whole year off, and then when you come back and you're finally getting into a fight camp, does it take you a while to get back into rhythm, or is it just like riding a bike?
It's kind of like riding a bike. It doesn't take me long to get into fight shape, per se, like doing all the different aspects of MMA. It don't take me long to get in shape doing it, but it's just getting in physical shape, you know, lifting, eating right, cardio, you know, leaning out. That might take a little longer than getting myself into fight shape, but...
Oh, man, I'm still floored on 34 fights at 27 years old.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm sitting here stuck on, like, I'm not even a fighter. Like, I have no time to do anything, and that's
And he's got
insane.
2 jobs, and he's owning the world at Far Cry, which is not an easy task. I'm not even being facetious. I have that game, and it's pretty involved. So my hat's off to you. And 34 fucking fights, Jesus Lord.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
we
remember
were.
my first fight. My first fight was at 17, and I was in school, and I had to have my parents sign a waiver to let me fight because I was underage. And back then, we didn't really have that much, like, there wasn't really commission or anything like that. We just waited in and walked out and fought somebody. So, yeah.
The good old days, huh?
Yeah. Crazy.
Wild West.
Yeah, because we were talking about that with Carlos Condit. Like, what did he start at, like 15, Omar?
I think he was 12, and he wore a mustache. I think just to get by whatever the regulators there were.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
nuts,
man.
man. That's crazy.
That's
That's all I
impressive.
know, though. This is what I've always done. My dad actually started me in, like, self-defense, and, my dad's a 9th degree black belt in Shakai Kempo. So he's always, like, and they're more hands-on, like, self-defense, but we would train, like, cops, military, hand-to-hand combat, like, sticks, knives, gun, disarm, stuff like that. So when I was really young, my dad started me in just, like, self-defense when I was 4. Just learning how to throw like a jab across, and then as I grew up and got a little older, that's actually like how I got my nickname before I even started MMA. Was guys would come into the gym and they wouldn't give me any kind of respect because I was just a young kid, they didn't know who I was, and then I was like 10 years old or something, like 10 or 12 or something like that, and these guys would come in and I was trying to help them and show them what I knew off of what my dad was teaching. And once I showed him, my dad was like, "Oh, you schooled him." I got the nickname Professor. So ever since then, once I started MMA when I was 14, he said, "Well, we're going to call you the Professor because you've always schooled everybody that came in here."
That's awesome. So Omar, I'm sorry, we have the real El Professor on the line, buddy.
We do. I'll give up that title all day. Are you kidding me? I don't want to get. I'm good on getting schooled. Right here. I don't want to be number 35, 36, or 37. I'll wait till he's 90.
Like, you don't want to be the next notch in his win column.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I'll mail him a letter.
So
letter.
Fighting's basically been your whole life, like you said. That's pretty awesome. I mean, it's awesome because you did it with your dad. Like what a lot of people talk about today is, fathers and sons, or even fathers and daughters, they don't spend enough time together because they don't have the same interests. But you were lucky enough to have that. That's pretty awesome. Does your dad still do karate?
He does. Yeah, he corners me for every fight. He's one of my main coaches.
Wow, that's excellent.
That's phenomenal.
That was great. good positive force.
Yeah.
It worked for Lovato, right?
Yeah.
Lovato's pops is all about being in there too, and helping out and getting them mentally ready and being a great influence there too. There's got to be something to it, man.
Yeah, and that bond too. You hear all the time about coaches and students, or the bond that they have and the way that they know them so well, they're able to push them to their limits and push them more. Well, honestly, I feel like I have that same bond with Jesse Finney too, my coach now here in St. Louis. He knows how to push me. He knows how to make me work, and so it's just a blessing to be able to have my dad like that. He's always been around. He's always helped me. For him, he's the reason I'm even in this. So.
Well, I mean, your dad's got to be really proud because this is your first main event for Shamrock FC. How you feeling about that?
This is actually my second or third main event for Shamrock.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Capology doesn't have that.
Yeah, I fought Matt Beach in the main event the last time I fought for Shamrock.
Matt Beach. I remember him getting choked out by Frankie Edgar.
Yep. Same. Yep.
Yeah, well, because when I was looking at, I saw that you fought him, and I mean, he's a really tough dude. He's a really tough dude.
He's definitely a tough competitor.
Because I remember
I feel like
that
I
fight.
was doing very well in that fight too.
Yeah.
I ended up losing in the third round by submission. It was kind of like back and forth. I wasn't really too sure how. It depends on how you score a fight. There's different style of judging. Some people judge off of control. Some people judge off of damage. In my eyes, I was doing all the damage, but he got a few takedowns in the first and second round. None that were able to control me or keep me there, but he held me on the fence the whole time. I didn't really take any damage at all in the fight, but I delivered a lot of damage. So it just depends on how how you score a fight. When I was in the third round, he finally got me down on my back, and he held me in a Kimura for like half the round. And I was like, okay, I could be up 2, I could be down 2. I have to do something. So I took a risk on trying to get out of the Kimura and got caught.
Well, hey man, we could tell that it didn't get you down, and I mean, I remember his fight with Frankie, and he took it to Frankie pretty tough. That fight.
Yeah, he was actually, in my opinion, he was winning that fight.
He was.
Frankie down and was holding him down. Yeah.
He was winning that fight.
I'm not the guy to go to decisions. I don't like decisions. You never know what's going to happen. I'll take the risk to take the chance to, get up and give me the chance to get a finish. And that's what it was. I could either lay here, he wasn't able to finish. I was defending it for a while. I could lay here and hold my shorts for, the remainder of the round and possibly lose a decision, or I could get up. And I chose to try to get up, and he caught me.
Well, it's better than just sitting there, like you said, because if you guys were slippery and he let it go, you could end up on top, and then the fight could have been yours. But
right,
shit, man. You don't get the reward without the risk, I guess. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I got to ask you this, man. What does it mean to you to be a professional fighter?
That's a good question. I don't really necessarily think of it as like being a professional fighter. I just try to be, I just be myself. I don't think of it. I mean, this is what I do. This is my career. But being a professional fighter, the main goal I ever had in fighting, obviously, is to get to the top. And I always wanted to make a difference. I didn't really care too much about fame or anything like that. I always wanted to be able to change. Where I grew up, I didn't grow up on the best area. I didn't. It wasn't the best area. Just say that. I like to really try to help people and give them, outlooks and different things they can do. And I think I can do that through the martial arts. I think the martial arts is a great outlook for a lot of people. It's a great way to, release a lot of anger or different things that you have going on. And that's what I like. I like being able to go into the gym and put in work and not have to think about anything else outside, And that was what it was for me. Being professional, courteous, a humble person, this is just who I am. But being a fighter, I want to show people that you can fight for what you believe in, and you can fight to be a better person. You can fight to try to make a difference. You don't have to just stay where you are. If you're in a bad area or a bad thing, you can always just like a fight. I mean, if you're in competition, you're in an MMA fight, you get in a bad position, it doesn't mean the fight's over. You know, you make a difference. You can change anything, any position, anywhere you are, and that's what it means to me to be a professional fighter. I just want to make a difference. I want to reach out to people. You know, I want to do my best to try to just help as many people as I can if I can.
You don't get any better of an answer than that. Well done.
Honestly, like it was legit up and down. I think you might have answered my follow-up, but something that tugged at me while you were speaking, Stephen, was now that you've seen, 34 fights, age 27, and you had the martial arts passed down to you, from a very early age from your father. Is this something that you would you encourage? I mean, I'm guessing you would encourage them to get into the martial arts for your kids down the road, but would you encourage them to get into the fight game per se?
I would definitely encourage the martial arts, no matter what. I'm not a forceful person. If they are interested in it or if they want to do it, I'll be the most supportive person. You can't force somebody to do this, especially a sport like this. And I would definitely be on board for them to compete. I would want them to compete, and I would try to get them into the sports that I think would match well to push them into, being successful in MMA. But if they didn't want to compete, that would be completely fine. But as far as the martial arts go, like I said, I think it's good for the body. It's good for everything. And I just think martial arts makes everybody look at a lot of aspects in life differently too. I mean, if you're able to go and get a lot of the frustration that people have built up inside, and you can go get it out in the gym, and then you come back and I think you see a lot less fights in the street. You have more discipline. I mean, all the kids that I train now are very disciplined, and I pride myself on that. These kids, they're going to learn manners. They're going to learn how to talk to somebody. They're going to learn how to defend themselves, and that's what I would want my kids to learn as well.
Now, do you see like the love you might have for training and fighting carrying over maybe into coaching one day when you decide to, help the next group of guys or girls coming up to get the best foot forward they can getting into the sport?
Absolutely. I mean, not only have I been fighting for the last 10 years, I started teaching before that. I think fighting is right now. It's hard for me sometimes because I had done that side of it. I've been a coach. I've been pushing people. I've helped people try to move up in MMA. But when it comes down to my fights, I got to be a little selfish, and that's kind of hard for me. But once I get to that point, I can start training. I'm selfish to get myself ready. But that being said, I have a kid now that I've been training at Finney's for the last 6 years. He started in my classes, and he's an absolute stud. Max. I can't even absolutely pronounce his name. Chorovich. You guys have to look him up, though. He is going to be in the top shows in the next few years. He's young right now. He's about 19. He's only had a couple fights, but the kid is a stud everywhere. And he's one of my, kids that I started training when he first started. It was 6 years ago when I moved here. That's a big thing for me. Once I stop fighting, I'm never going to be out of the martial arts. I'm always going to be a part of it, trying to help kids and help fighters and help them and there's a lot of politics to this game too. And having my fights, I get a lot of experience, and I've dealt with a lot of people, and I think I'll be able to help in that aspect as well.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So now you said that about the politics. Roberto from Fightbook MMA had sent me a message. He had a question for you. He just he wanted to know how come you were looking. You want to go back to Bellator? Is the UFC anything that's on your horizon, or are you just 100% happy with Bellator?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to fight in the UFC. When I started training myself when I was around 4 years old, my dad, when I started getting old enough to remember, my dad we were always watching the UFC. I still watch the UFC today. I'm a big fan. I would love to fight for the UFC if I could. I've actually thought about doing the Ultimate Fighter, and the time that I was going to go for the Ultimate Fighter was the time Bellator came here the first time, and I ended up getting on that card. So that kind of put my Ultimate Fighter plans on hold. But I'm open. Right now I'm not really. Shamrock's a major organization in my eyes. Shamrock's very professional. They do very good with us.
Absolutely.
And I'm not opposed to fighting anywhere. I'd like to fight everywhere, wherever I can get the experience. It's just timing and management and being able to communicate and trying to see if I can find fights. Yeah, I'm definitely down to fight anywhere.
Well, hopefully PFL takes off like we think that it's gonna, because that's one hell of a fight purse. I don't know if you looked into that at all.
No, I haven't.
Basically, it's a point format. So it doesn't matter if you're the greatest talker on Twitter. It's kind of fair. I wouldn't do it any justice actually being able to fully explain it, but the winner of each division gets $1 million as well as being a champion. Yeah.
That's the bottom line right there. That's
basically. We had Eddie Gordon on last week, and the final fights of the season. Well, the final fight, I should say, the last night of the season, PFL is going to be paying out in total $10 million.
So is it like a reality show?
No.
No,
it's tournament format.
It struck me. It's like a tournament, and I think the best way that I could describe it, that it reminded me of, is if you watch hockey or soccer, and like their tournaments where you get points for winning, less points for a draw, and no points for a loss, right? So like you can, it's like a round robin tournament that way, you also
and
get
then there's a
extra
certain
points
amount of fights.
if you finish. Exactly, and then you get more points if you finish too. So that'll lend itself. I think it would lend itself to somebody like you, where you don't like decisions. So you go in, you hit the home run, and you get like an extra, I think, like 3 to 5 points, which could put you over to have you fighting for that hot millie.
So then is it just
awesome.
the 2 point leaders in the division at the end that fight for the finals?
I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I think
cool.
so, and I think it's either that or they do like a postseason almost too, maybe potentially. That's the only place that I'm fuzzy on.
Yep.
Yeah, so then they do a playoff, but like, my man, with how you like to finish, from all different angles, subs as well as KOs and TKOs, I feel like that. Scott Professor is all over it too, It is.
That's an interesting look.
For sure.
So how do they
I'm
decide
excited
how
for
many
that.
fighters get in?
Oh God, they have. What did Eddie say? There was like 82 fighters, Omar.
Yeah, there's a deep roster, Steven. Like there is, if you, we could shoot you, or we could shoot your manager, a little link or whatever. But like, we're not getting paid to do this either. It's not like PFL is like, here's a $500,000 for you guys. Although if they're open to it, I would be. I'm not gonna, but I think they're they have a big pool of fighters. So what they're banking on, I think, is just good quality fights, and they have the carrot on the stick of finishes get you further. So it's like sometimes a good
whoever's
finish.
more active.
Exactly, and who stays healthy, so who does the right things, outside. Injuries happen, but like sometimes it's like who does the right things outside of the cage, and who lives the right life, who stays ready. I would imagine potentially like there could be opportunities to fill in, So if you're constant, like you like to stay active, you're okay with being active, so you could probably be like, hey, I'm always here. Somebody drops off, I can get some more points. Fuck it, let me do this.
And like Eddie was saying to us, the bulk of the money is going to the fighters.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The bulk of the money is going to the fighters. So it's crazy.
Cool. So is when they put cards on and everything like that, so is everybody on the card in the tournament?
Yes.
For them, yeah,
Okay.
Almost pretty much. I would imagine
then?
for like the first few, I think it's gonna be, and then they do a playoff, and then at the end of the season, it's the champion for that season, and hopefully, it's gonna be season 2, 3, 4, 5, and 25. I want to see fighters get paid. That's
so
flat
do
out.
they fight you per fight during the season as well?
I believe so. I think they hook you up. You it's not like you're staving it off. But for particulars, I'd have to look into it. I mean, I would hope not. If that's the caveat, that's a good question too. But if that's the caveat, I'd be like, wait a second. I had a sales job too. Where I had to work on commission.
Right, it's only the season winner get paid.
Yeah, no.
But that's cool though. That's
they
a
got
cool
some
idea. I
money
like
behind
the concept.
They do. They got some money behind them.
Well, I'm sure.
You know?
I'm sure you're getting paid. You're getting paid per fight because there's no way somebody would be able to pay for training and everything like that. And I know the top 3 guys get payouts of their division. The top 3 guys get big payouts. So it's looking bright. It's looking the way MMA needs to go. And honestly, if this is successful, I think it's going to change the landscape for all the major organizations.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's what I think. This might be the blessing in disguise that gets everybody paid.
Did they say when the first fights are or when they start?
June 7th is the first one.
June
Madison
7th.
Square Garden.
Dang.
It will be on NBC Sports.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was the old World Series of Fighting, and they've rebranded. I think Ray Cepho is still running things out there, and I haven't heard bad things about him. You know how sometimes you can hear through the grapevine some promoters, some of them are better than others. You soak about politics, so you know what I'm talking about. But Ray Cepho, I mean, I don't even think his, the tax man hates him, and that's saying a lot. You know what I mean? Like, the tax man hates everybody. So he likes Ray Cepho, So, but
man, it's definitely PFL. Pro Fight
PFL,
League.
Professional Fight League. They rebranded the World Series of Fighting. So and they got spots on NBC. A lot of the major networks are looking for brandable good content. Like you got the Bellator with Paramount. They rebranded and they're trying to get that because it's all about that streamable content down the road, man. You know that. So they're trying to lock good fighters up and exciting stuff up. So I just want to see everybody get paid, you included. So.
And this is no knock on Shamrock because they're on NBC Sports too, and that deal with Flow Grappling, it's nice.
Shamrock's everywhere too, though.
Yeah. We just got signed to that too, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think my fight card is the second fight that they've had on NBC Sports. So and I think the first one for Flow, I think. I could be wrong, but
because 304 Shamrock 304, that one was on NBC and on Shamrock's website too. So I think this is going to be the first one for Flow Grappling, which is exciting because that's an excellent app.
It's a great platform. It makes it enjoyable to watch. Some of these apps are garbage. I'm not going to lie to you. Like some of these apps are just like, what the hell is going on? But Flow's got it down.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Fight app. I'm not.
Oh, Christ, no.
I'm not a big fan.
No, Christ, no. It's tough. And then it hurts fighters because fighters are getting paid based on, getting eyeballs, right? Steven signs somebody and says, hey, I'm going to have these eyeballs. And then if you make the technology turn people off, right, it's already an uphill battle. Like, we're trying to get as many eyeballs as possible. Don't make the tech be the thing that fucks you over. I get pissed. I get so pissed. But Flow's great. I love that stuff. All the
shout out
Hell
absolutely.
Yeah. So, brother, while we're winding down here, I just have one last thing. If your opponent was on the other line with you right now, what would you have to say to him before your fight on May 11th?
To be honest, nothing. Just show up. I don't really have anything to say one way or the other. I don't care who it is. Whoever they line up with me, I'm going to knock them down. That's what we're here for. And I don't really have shit to say to anybody. Just want to go in and fight and show what I can do.
I mean, he's answered every question.
You know what I heard? No. You know what I heard? I heard, don't bitch out. That's what I heard. I heard Steve.
Yeah, don't bitch out.
Not just show up. Don't bitch out. Boom. There we go.
Don't pull out before the beatdown. That's basically what I heard.
Let's not talk. Come on.
Man, that's right on right there. I swear, man, every single fight I have, I go through so many opponents. It sucks. Like my last fight, the guy showed up the day of and fought me because I was supposed to fight this guy. I can't remember what his name was. His record was like 55-30 or something like that. And he didn't show up to weigh-in. he didn't show up to weigh in. So I'm standing there, and I weighed in. So the promoter let me, like, start drinking and eating, and they started, like, trying to figure out where he was. He wasn't in contact with them. So he just didn't show up. And then before that guy, I had 5 guys pull out. So, yeah, just show up. Yeah. I hate dealing with that.
You know what?
Back
Is
to
it
being
what?
professional.
Do they sleep on you? And then they watch footage and they're like, oh, shit, is this Steve Mann? I thought it was Steve Mann from Hawthorne, New York. Like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah, I have no idea, but that's the worst.
They don't want
He's
them to put
standing
the pause on
there
them.
weighing in, and the guy's not there to weigh in, you know?
Weight cut, fight purse, getting a little ching from the sponsors for actually doing the walkout and having the gear. All of that gets put into flux.
That messes up everything.
Yes,
that's the worst, too. You make weight. You just wait in, and then all of a sudden now you don't have to fight.
Yeah.
What do you do, though?
Oh.
Yep.
And where we're at, you know, we're professional fighters. You can't just get, you know, anybody right off the, you know, everybody has to be approved. And then they have to have their blood work, and then they have to be able to make weight. And then at, you know, a higher level of professionalism, everybody, you know, the guys that we're fighting are good. It's just, you know, I don't know. It's just a lot of people don't want to take those fights. And I personally, you know, if I'm not ready, I wouldn't want to take a fight on an hour's notice. I would have to have enough time to prep and cut weight. So it's just hard.
It's a lot on the line at this stage. You're 34 fights in. It's not like, you've earned a little preparation time in the fight game. At the very least, you're not asking for a lot, right? You just want to do what you can, not scramble and have some shenanigans happen. You know, was Travis Fulton the guy that pulled out? Like, did that sound? That sounds like who had 55 fights? Like what? 55 and 30, and 700. Yo, what the hell's going on? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, you said it best. You guys are professionals, and not only is your job to fight, it's to make weight.
Right.
God, I couldn't even imagine. So listen, man. This is the point of the show where we give you the floor. Shout out your sponsors, everybody that you want to shout out. The floor is yours, man.
Just shout out to everybody that supports me. My friends, my family, my dad, Dave Mann, American Fighters, Finney's MMA, Page Law. There's just so many people. The list goes on. I just appreciate all the support, and I hope everybody tunes in May 11th.
Well, brother, first, we just want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule, 2 jobs, fight camp, the weight cut. So thank you so much for taking the time out to come on here, and we will definitely be rooting for you come May 11th. Guys, you got anything else before we let them go?
Nah, man. Good luck with the cut.
Definitely kick some ass. Make him pay for that weight cut.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, Steve, good luck, brother.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
34 fights at 27 years old. Do you think he likes to fight, guys?
I think he likes to get paid.
No. I
he likes to finish.
I get the sense that he likes to fight.
Jesus Christ. And I love how all his chokes, I just hit people. Like, I hit them hard, and they just turtle up, and then I choke the shit out of them. Like, what? Come on, thanks, man. Like, I can't bring that back to the bat.
That was the greatest answer, honestly.
That was phenomenal.
I just hit really hard
to
give me back.
What helps my punches? My chokes. Like, bro, come on, man. That's some Kung Fu the Legend Continues type shit. He's being cagey. He's not giving me the real. The professor's like, find the answer yourself. I'm like, what the? Come on. What? I want some technical.
Yeah, and not to knock the guy, but remember when we had Anthony Garrett on? Remember when we had Anthony on before his fight with Chris Beal?
True.
Yeah, he pulled out right before the fight.
I mean, I wouldn't sign, so I guess somebody's got more cojones than me just signing, and I wouldn't want to fight this guy. Look at his record. Look at his highlight reel. You know what I'm saying? Like, a fucking beast. I know Kareem would,
Yeah.
because Kareem's crazy. I feel Kareem would
Yeah, I
try to
don't
mix
give
it
a
up.
shit. If I'm a fighter and there's money to be made, I would fight. I would fight Jesus on 2 hours' notice.
Why 2 though? I feel like that you're hedging your bets, Kareem, man. You got to say like 15 minutes after some watermelon juice.
Yeah, 2 hours gives you time to think about it.
No,
or
see,
pray.
look, 2 hours is perfect. 2 hours gives me time to stop by Popeyes, hop in a shower, stop by my barber and get a quick cut, grab my trusty red Pride Rules MMA hoodie, and then head out.
Yeah.
What are you, Derek Lewis with the fried food for a fight?
That's fine. It works, man.
Hey,
Whatever
how dare you assume I meant fried food? There are other options
That's
at
right.
Popeyes.
No, there's not, Kareem. Shut the fuck
Yeah, exactly. No, there's not.
Like everybody
from
knows
one
he
deep
shit.
fried.
From a Hispanic that loves him some Popeyes, I'm going to have to take this one. Like, no. I know where you're going, and I wanted to jump on that bandwagon, but it's Popeyes. Like, there's nothing else. The fucking biscuits are deep fried, and they put salt and diabetes into the dough, where those fucking biscuits are just the worst.
There's a reason why it's called Louisiana Fast, because it's fried. That's why.
And you die. That's why you eat it and you die fast. You're fucking done. You know what I'm saying? Jesus.
Well, with the little bit of time we have
food.
left, speaking of dying fast, I think we might see the last of Derek Lewis when he fights Francis Ngannou.
Stop it.
How
Get
dare
out of
you,
here,
sir?
guys. Shit, come on. He's
I
a
am
hero.
not off that Ngannou train. I told you, I am not Brennan Schaub.
Leg him. He's going to double leg him and put him on his knees and make him fix it.
And
Do we make a bet that you have my picture as your profile on Facebook for a week if
we got to do
if he gets knocked out?
Bet. I like that. Yeah.
Kareem ain't answering.
A picture.
Kareem just
your picture.
My picture.
My profile picture. For
a week. 7 days.
If I'm wrong.
7 days.
And a picture of my choosing for your profile picture when I'm right.
100%. Yeah, it goes both ways. We got to have both skin in the game here, all right? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, when
hey,
I win,
didn't
there's
welch
definitely
on my
gonna be
bet
skin in the game.
when McGillicuddy won against Eddie Alvarez. I put that idiot's picture on my Facebook for a week. But
I hear Kareem actually going on 4chan right now and like getting photos that he's fucking preparing. Yep, no, that was 8chan. My apologies. He's deep in the matrix here. But yeah, it's gonna be some bad shit for the two of you because you said my picture, right, Kareem, and you said a picture of your choosing. I heard that.
Exactly.
Sneaky fuck. 100%. Yeah.
As long as it's something that doesn't get me kicked off Facebook, bro.
What are you talking about? You have 17 accounts, Tommy D. Shut your mouth. You have contingency accounts. You have doomsday prepper accounts for fucking social media. When you go nuclear on somebody's account.
Let's just say I'm probably going to enlist Corey's help.
No, we cannot do that. That will have me kicked off Facebook for life. We cannot do that.
Oh, no.
No,
I'll make it as painful as possible.
He is the best Photoshop person you'll ever meet in your life. It's scary how good he is.
Then I want to double down on this. This has to happen then. It must be a Photoshop photo. Should absolutely happen. I feel like we're gonna see Tommy with like some tits or some shit. Like it's gonna be something crazy probably.
Oh no. The photo that Corey made actually had Tara looking at me sideways because he made it look that good.
You don't even have to detail it because anytime I hear you mention Corey and Photoshop in the same sentence, I know what picture you're talking about.
Oh. That's why he's the king of Photoshop.
That's a good man to have in your back pocket, Kareem. I respect that. That's a specialist of a high caliber. It's always useful. Oh,
I'm gonna have to wipe all my pictures off Facebook now.
no, it's already done. Somebody's already fucking gone in the Wayback Machine and taken a few offline right now. Oh fuck, you're done.
Man.
You're doomed. You better send fucking the Black Beast all the Popeyes you can afford. I feel like right now, just to kind of try to mess them up a little bit.
I think I'm going to go on the gram and I'm going to message and tag Derek Lewis as much as possible to let him know that I have all the faith in the world that he's going to dump Ngannou on his head and put him away, and then tell him
on
what the bet is. Yeah, he's super active.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm going to tell him what the bet is. I'm going to show him. You know what? That's going to be my goal. My goal is going to be to get the Black Beast to pick the picture when you lose.
No. Oh, God.
Okay.
Yo, Derek Lewis is on another level when it comes to internet fuckery, too. I salute that man as well.
I like Derek Lewis a lot. I just don't think he's going to be able to withstand a punch from Ngannou.
He saved lives during a flood, all right? Ngannou was trying to beat up Jean-Claude Van Damme when he was running from the French Foreign Legion. All right? You can't even equate the two in terms of how awesome they are. Get the fuck out of here, man. You serve this country, Tommy. For God's sakes, where's your patriotism? You gotta ride with Derek Lewis.
I love Derek Lewis, but I don't think he's gonna beat Francis. I don't.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Hey, Gandhi
wobble.
was an amazing man. Do I think he would beat Uriah Faber in the cage? No.
Did you say what? Hold on. No.
Yeah.
No. Did I hear? Yeah, I did. Fuck you. I just said it. God damn it.
Well, listen, guys. This was a great show tonight. Omar, I think we've talked about Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's same time, same bat channel.
Yes,
and we'll have to relay the message. Well,
yeah. So Wednesday night, as long as everything still goes right and Jeremy can still set that up, we're going to have Stephen Mann's opponent, Matt Delanoy, on Wednesday night to interview him to talk about his main event fight, which should be exciting because this is the first time we're actually getting to do 2 shows in 1 week. Hopefully we could do this a little bit more. Maybe we could have one show just for guests and the other show just for us being able to spitball everything and talk about all the goings-on in MMA. And we can get more content out there for you guys. So that is the future goal as long as our schedules will allow it. So, boys, this was an awesome show, honestly. We had a lot of fun with Steven. Thank you so much for coming on. We love having these Shamrock guys on here. I was joking with Jeremy. I said, between us and Loaded Joe's, we're like the official of Shamrock FC. And
absolutely,
I love it.
Not about
giving these guys
I'm
shine.
excited.
Yeah, we're giving these guys shine. They deserve it. So, one last shout-out to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2-Minute Warning Sports 360, and our new Fightbook MMA family. Very proud to be part of Fightbook MMA. You guys can find our podcast on their website. Go check them out, fightbookmma.com. Go under podcasts. We are on there with some awesome combat sports podcasts with Rutan and Ranello as well. So we are
excited for that.
Good company. We are in good company, folks. So for El Professor, Omar Sangarima, our homeboy Kareem, I'm the Reverend Tommy D. We will see you Wednesday night.
Kareem the Dream.
Yes.
Have respect.
Kareem the Dream.
The Dream.
We will see you Wednesday night. We are Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.